Overall indecision in here so far on this weekly chart. Obviously, when you get that open that we had this morning and then that big dip in the market and then that rip at the end of the day, that's how you're basically going to get volatility sucked out of everything. And that's where you're going to get these basically overall, it looks like it's flat. So $1,000 stock only up around $1.38 on the day. Well, that's because we got a high in here, 985, and a low in 99.68, and we closed at 978. So basically a $20 high to low in here, but it looks like we only moved about $1 overall on the day. So that's where we create our indecision candle on here. But that's just the beginning of the week. We still have 4 more trading sessions in this week to close this candle. It looks like we are going to hold this 9-day EMA so far. That's currently at 967. So that is good news in here. But again, our first resistance is going to be looking at this 1,008 range, and then above that it is going to be this upper trend line here about the 1,030s. So that's going to be our new resistance safety line. You can see for the past couple weeks we banged our head up against that ever since we breached it. We kind of zoom out here on the weekly. You can see this large ascending channel that we had. That was a nice support for us. All of a sudden we breached it here in mid-March, and then now that is going to be a resistance for us. So again, we're just going to keep that on there until we decide to no longer respect that going forward. So resistance wise, we're looking at 1,008, and then we're looking at that 1,030 mark. Support wise, below that 9-day EMA, it is going to be down here at that 925, and then below that it is going to be the 867, which is a nice support for us back here on that 4-7 week when we had that huge volatility influx in here on that huge drop. If we go to the daily chart in here, you can kind of see where your volatility happened in the previous week. And that's basically wrapped around this 9-day EMA here. So we are sitting good here right on that 9-day EMA, although we did have a day of indecision in here. That comes off a day where we had a longer wick on this doji and then a long wick on a previous doji too. So 3 green candles, that's good, but it looks like we're getting a little shaky up here sitting on this 9-day EMA. So tomorrow, with all the volatility that's probably going to come into the market with all the news that's coming out tomorrow, it's going to be interesting to see if we can hold this 9-day EMA in here or not. But on the daily chart, what are we looking at? Well, probably the 960s. That's going to be an area that we're probably going to hit for a little while before we start breaching down into those 920 range. So that might hold us. And then also you have a little area here right around the 940s, 944 really. That could be a little hiccup for us as we're working our way down here to this major support like we called out earlier for the 924s. We can go to the 30-minute chart here so you can see exactly what happened today. As we mentioned before, that big pop at open, and then we had that open high, right, and then that big dip in the middle, and then a nice recovery for the end of the day. So $20 low to high in here, but really we only closed about $1.38 higher from the previous day's trading session. Now, we do have earnings coming up at the end of the month here. So you have right around a $67 expected move by that end of the month expiration. But until then, you have right around a $25 expected move by this Friday, following Friday, 38, following Friday, right around a $50 expected move in here with your Ivy rank at 47. So good juice in here. You just have to find the options that do have enough volume in here, and then you kind of play it whichever way you want. Especially on days like today, when you could have got in and basically played either side, right? But you just had to pick the right side, correct? So that is the key in here. But we'll see what happens again. Just to reiterate what we're looking at on the weekly chart, that 9-day EMA, we have to confirm a hold of that, 967. First resistance is going to be at 1,008. Above that, 1,030. Support-wise, below that 9-day EMA, you're going to be looking down here right around that 923 area for a nice hold. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We have a Discord service if you are interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.